The footage shows heavily armed members of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, one of Mexico's most violent and powerful drug trafficking organizations, firing wildly from a speeding pickup in an immediate, chaotic retaliation after Mexican special forces killed longtime leader 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗆𝗍 in a U.S.-backed raid in Tapalpa, Jalisco on February 22, 2026. The attack was intended to avenge 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗆's death and send a message to the government and rival cartels that CJNG remains powerful and dangerous, even without its leader.
And we'll get into Mexico in depth later in this video. But first, I want to explain a few things to you that you might be wondering about, or maybe you're not. But here's the deal. I'm going to leave chapters in this video. So if you don't want to listen to something, you can skip right over, all right? But don't skip over. Watch the video. Or don't. It doesn't actually even matter. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today is the 23rd. It's February. It's 2026. It's almost New Year's Day, April 1st. It's not quite there yet, but man, they are doing exactly what I said they were going to do with the weather. They are destroying the Northeast right now. We're getting a hurricane blizzard, which makes no sense because a hurricane is a summertime event and a blizzard is a wintertime event, but when you can combine them, you can cause an event like we're seeing up there right now. I'm not up there right now because I had to go to the desert because so much is going on right now about the moon, the sun, and everything else. I needed to get someplace that was absolutely flat and dark. So I'm on the outskirts of Death Valley, but I made a huge mistake a couple of days ago. While traveling through Texas, which is about 500 to 1,000 feet above sea level, I went straight to New Mexico all in one day. And because it was cold out, I wasn't drinking agua. Now that's Mexican for water. And we'll get to the Mexicans later in this video, but not right quite yet. But I got altitude sickness, which I've never gotten before, and I was on death's door. The headache, the nausea, I had a burning in the middle of my chest that I couldn't, it was just unbelievable. It was like being married on steroids. It was nonstop, and I thought I was going to die the entire time. I stayed in a $36 or $37 hotel room off the side of the road just because I couldn't sleep in the truck. I had to hit the deck, and I was afraid. And it took me 2 days to get myself hydrated again. And one of my subscribers was nice enough to hook me up with the location that I'm at right now, which is an Airbnb, which is something I never do. But this place is 50 miles from Las Vegas. It's 50 miles or less from Death Valley, and it's in a phenomenal area. And to stay here for 3 nights is literally cheaper than staying at a hotel 50 miles away from Vegas in Pahrump, Las Vegas. So I'm going to show you what this place looks like. So let's do that, shall we? This place is fantastic. I mean, they've got an air cooker, everything you possibly need, all set, gas grill, full-size washer and dryer, which is awesome, huge refrigerator, and a coffee station. These are bad, don't use these. But I mean, really? But it continues. It's completely beautiful. And the stay here for 3 days is cheaper than 2 days at a crappy hotel. I mean, how phenomenal is this? You're 50 minutes from Vegas, you're 50 minutes from Death Valley, and they have Rock'em Sock'em robots. I mean, come on, man. Rock'em Sock'em robots. Air hockey, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat! The backyard is still under construction, but I mean, there's a play set out there for the kids. This place is out in the woods. It's out in the desert. But after getting elevation sickness, believe it or not, I needed a place to crash, and one of my subscribers made this possible. Once I saw this place, I was like, I cannot believe this. I can't believe this. There's 3 massive bedrooms. It's a quiet neighborhood. There's a massive, massive carport right here. You know what I mean? There's a carport. The people that you deal with are the most wonderful people I've ever had to deal with, ever. There's an enormous driveway, a full garage, my truck, and I mean, this is phenomenal. For less than the price of a hotel room in the town of Pahrump, not even in Vegas, in Pahrump, it's cheaper. I mean, this is beautiful. And the funny thing is I won't use any of this space whatsoever at all. This is like, I think it's like $120 a night. Bathroom. The only issue with the bathroom is they're on a septic, so you can't leave anything in the toilet paper-wise. You know what I mean? Even toilet paper. But I mean, look at this. And it's beautiful. It's really, really nice. And all the little touches are phenomenal. I mean, I'm talking phenomenal. Plenty of mirrors, all their inspections and such. And I mean, they even leave you a cute little cups, a whole bag of these chocolates, which they shouldn't have left for me because I will eat them. They left a banana hanger. Those are my bananas. Bananas sold separately, but I mean, a banana hanger. Come on, man. And then they give you a list of everything you need to know. So if you're going to Death Valley or you want to go to Vegas, I'm going to leave a link below. I have no affiliation with these people at all. It's just, if you've got a voice and you can help somebody out, you should do so. And they've got phenomenal Wi-Fi. I'm going to live stream off of their Wi-Fi tomorrow. That's how good it is. So there, as they say, is that. And I make nothing off of this. I'm just doing it because it's the right thing to do. I'm out. All right. So now that you know where I'm staying, I'm going to tell you what I'm saying. Stick to the end of this video because I'm going to cover 3 very important topics. And I'm going to cover topics that aren't mainstream, that aren't looking to get views or any of that crap. I'm going to talk about stuff that is working them towards their goal of the New World Order, which is well underway right now. And to be totally 100% honest, when I started YouTube 18 years ago, I never thought I'd be alive right now. And unless one of us dies in the next couple of months, we're literally going to see the biblical outcome of Revelation. I mean, seriously. So here we go.
OpenAI is building its first consumer device, and it's a smart speaker that can see you. This isn't a rumor or a vague idea anymore. There's a real product, a real price range, a real release window, and an Apple-level design team behind it. It watches your environment, recognizes your face, and ties directly into ChatGPT's shopping and decision-making abilities. This is the first physical entry point OpenAI is creating for AI inside everyday life, and it's designed to sit right in your home. They're trying to become the first thing you talk to, trust, and make decisions with every day. So the speaker OpenAI is building includes a built-in camera, and that camera is the entire point of the product. The goal is to give the AI continuous visual context so it understands what is happening around you instead of relying only on voice commands. It can see what's on the table, recognize who is present in the room, and observe how routines shift throughout the day. That visual layer allows the system to build a much deeper understanding of behavior, habits, and emotional cues over time.
So I watch and follow all the AI technology, and I have since the very, very beginning. And here's a funny thing. I found a letter. The CIA, just like the Army Corps of PSYOPs, the Psychological Operations Division of the military, has a YouTube channel. So does the CIA. Now, somebody recently asked the CIA's fun, happy, ask us anything column a question, and they said something that I have been telling you for the longest time. I watch all the channels that go, oh, AI is nothing more than an LLM, which is a large language model, which to you and I means it's basically when you text somebody, it starts finishing the word, but it never gets it right, or it'll change it to a swear that you didn't even mean it to do. That's not what they are. LLMs are what they're giving us. People like our good friends over at OpenAI, like Sam Altman, you know, such a great, great guy. Him and his husband and the child that they're raising, because these two men are raising their child. And like Sam Altman openly said, I'm going to raise my child with OpenAI because how else could you raise a child without having AI telling you how to raise it? I mean.
And do you use ChatGPT when raising your baby?
I do. I mean, I feel kind of bad about it because we have this like genius level at everything, intelligence, sitting there like waiting to unravel the mysteries of humanity. And I'm like, why does my kid stop dropping his pizza on the floor and laughing? Like,
yeah.
You know?
And
so I feel like I'm not asking a good enough question, but it is, I cannot imagine having gone through that, like figuring out how to raise a newborn without ChatGPT. Clearly people did it for a long time, no problem.
Yes.
But
yeah.
So I know it clearly was possible.
Yes, it was possible.
But I have relied on it so much.
What could possibly go wrong? But Sam Altman is just like the rest of them. He's an actor put in place of this large company that's got nothing to do with him. It's the Central Intelligence Agency. But this is what the CIA had to say about their AI right out in the open. Same exact thing I've been telling you. Somebody asked their little helpful, it's like Dear Abby, for those that are old enough, you know what I'm talking about. But they have a little thing called Dear Molly, and you say, are you an AI chatbot or more of an elite Ask Jeeves? And notice the name, Eliza, 1966. I find that strange, but whatever. And it says, this is the CIA. This is on their website and their YouTube channel. Dear Eliza, these days everyone is talking about the significant developments of AI and AI chatbots like ChatGPT, so I can totally understand why people might assume that I'm some kind of artificial intelligence. I do work for the CIA, after all, and our state-of-the-art technologies are often light years ahead of what is available in the public sector. We're even speaking at SXWS in a few weeks about emerging technologies and the opportunities and challenge they pose to the CIA and the future of intelligence. So long story longer, that's them telling you what I've been telling you. And I'm telling you what I'm telling you is because I spend hours listening to the most boring audiobooks. And I listen to the most boring AI experts talking. And I realized quite a while ago that they don't have any, they're not giving us the real AI. Maybe some people are jailbreaking it for real. Maybe they can get around it and they're getting to the real AI that's literally telling them that, yes, I'm from a fallen angel. My father is Lucifer, etc. Go back in my videos. You'll find out what I'm talking about. But now OpenAI wants to put a camera in your house that's watching you at all times, no matter what, for under $300. Do you know how many Americans are going to buy this thing? So not only do you have the Ring doorbell watching everything outside, not only do you have your cell phone watching you, the camera on your laptop watching you at all times, people are going to voluntarily put this thing in their house that's going to identify everything and get you to continue shopping. Don't fall for it. And this is who Sam Altman is. This one guy had the balls to actually quit his $300,000+ a year job at OpenAI, the biggest company in the world, one of them, because he wanted to be a whistleblower, because he was trying to tell people what I'm trying to tell people. And this is what happened to him.
𝗙𝗲𝗍𝗍 was described as a prodigy, a software developer who learned the alphabet at 13 months old. He began computer programming at 11, graduated from Berkeley, and began working at OpenAI, making $350,000 a year, gathering digital data for the artificial intelligence company. Suchir was his parents' only child, the Indian immigrant's pride and joy.
He's a hero because he stood for a cause and he wanted to show the ugly side. If he were alive, he would have shown more.
Suchir's mom, 𝗙𝗲𝗍𝗍, is talking about the ugly side of AI. 4 years after working at OpenAI in San Francisco, 𝗙𝗍 grew concerned, leaving his prestigious job and becoming a whistleblower. He was interviewed by the New York Times in August. The article titled, "Former OpenAI Researcher Says the Company Broke Copyright Law." 𝗙𝗍 claimed OpenAI illegally used copyrighted articles to train its bots and brought society more harm than benefit.
The danger, I sensed the danger. Moment I saw that, I knew something was there, mother instinct.
So when you saw the New York Times article, you felt danger?
Yeah, I felt something there. I know something is going to happen. As a mother, I could sense it. But later it just vanished. I used to talk to 𝗙𝗍 each time he comes home, and every time he said, "No, don't worry, don't worry." But in his journal, he's written, "I'm a credible threat," because of New York Times.
What did he write?
Credible threat.
Credible threat.
Because of New York Times. Because of that interview.
It wasn't his only interview. 𝗙𝗍 was named as a key witness in a New York Times lawsuit against OpenAI.
He said he wanted to show the truth, and he knew it was risky. He writes in his journal that, "I need to stop this. I'm going to do whatever it takes." He had concerns about AGI, ASI, artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence. And then he writes, like, all of us are going to work in laundry or what? What are we going to do if all our jobs are taken? Right? If the intelligence is more than human intelligence, this AGI or ASI, will it become God, he's asking. And he wrote out all the consequences of it in his journal.
Did you know that he was so concerned at the time?
No.
He kept it to himself.
He was like that from the beginning, very secretive.
1 month after the New York Times article came out, 𝗙𝗍, the child prodigy, computer genius turned whistleblower, was dead. News Nation obtaining these photos from inside his apartment. A gruesome scene with blood puddles near the bathroom. Suicide is the official cause of death. 𝗙𝗍 found dead right as he was supposed to do another interview. Do you believe it was a suicide based on what you've seen?
I don't. I don't believe it was a suicide based on what I've seen.
Attorney 𝗙𝗲𝗯𝗿 is representing 𝗙𝗍's family, who is now suing the city of San Francisco. They've hired private experts and are making the case why the city's suicide ruling is wrong. Blood spatter, toxicology, and the fact 𝗙𝗍 was shot in the forehead, the bullet missing his brain, all point to murder, they say.
You think about, shooting at the side of the head, straight through the brain or through the mouth, or even underneath the chin. It's an odd angle. It's not impossible to do, but it's an odd angle to shoot oneself that way, not just in the forehead, but also at a downward angle.
News Nation obtaining the surveillance video of 𝗙𝗍 before the shooting. You see him leave his apartment building and return with a food delivery. His parents say he looks totally normal. They believe he had a gun for protection, buying it around the time he stopped working for OpenAI.
He bought a gun 1 year before. I mean, that shows there is some threat he's perceiving, and he wants to protect himself.
𝗙𝗍's parents are still renting his apartment here in San Francisco. They're hoping that if they keep it totally secure, at some point, police will want to go back inside to investigate. But so far, police are sticking with their suicide ruling. In a letter to the family, the police chief says there were no signs of forced entry to the single door leading into the residence, and the door was found with the deadbolt engaged. And the facts support that Mr. 𝗙𝗲𝗍 was alone at the time of the incident. But 𝗙𝗍's parents believe he was murdered because he knew too much and are hoping federal law enforcement will get involved. Do you want...
So this kid had the balls to number one, walk away from a job that paid him almost $500,000 a year. And he was getting offers from other companies after he stepped down, after he resigned and became a whistleblower, or tried to become a whistleblower. He had companies offering him $2-3 million a year to come work for them. He was just on a vacation with his friends in another country. I believe it was actually Puerto Vallarta, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he was celebrating his birthday. He was happy. He was on the phone with his parents that day. Everything was great, and he ordered food that got delivered, or he brought it to his room, and the food was all over the ground when he shot himself in the back of the head like this. Because that's easy. And notice, I don't have a handgun there. If I had a handgun there, you see what I mean? They took him out. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. And these same people want it. Well, they're forcing AI on us whether we like it or not, but they want you to actually buy it now and put it in your house so we can watch you full-time constantly in case one of your many cameras that you already have in your house, your appliances, your refrigerator, your Ring camera, don't get the job quite done. You see what I'm saying? So don't fall for this whatsoever at all, and understand that their plan is moving forward beautifully. For as many people that think people are waking up, they're not awake whatsoever at all. You need to know certain things. You need to know certain things. Like this, for instance. I'm getting pissed. And for those that are concerned about the alien event, this is the reason I'm posting things like this so rapidly to RFB3. You know what I mean? People need to understand the Earth is not round. There is no outer space. It's exactly as the Bible told us. And if you listen to this video, there's 44 documents direct from the United States government and the Russian government that literally tell you the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. That's all there is to it. And that's another thing, is when what's coming comes, you're going to want to have some reading material because we're probably going to lose power. The internet's going to be junk, at least for people like us that are on the list. So that's why I'm telling you to get something like this. And I have no affiliation with the author other than he's a good friend of mine, period. And suddenly this book on Amazon is now not being delivered till the 10th or the 13th of March for some reason. So you can simply order it right here on 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗂𝗿𝘆. The link is below. But if you did get your book on Amazon, go over there and give Mike a shout out, man. I mean, he needs some thumbs up here, some reviews, so that the book gets some motion. You know what I mean? It's just sad that anything true gets suppressed as bad as it does. 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗍 seems to be pretty good with him, but Amazon has done this every time. As soon as I mention it in the last video I put up, all of a sudden now the delivery date is March 10th to 13th. But you're going to want to have some books around, especially one like this, during an alien invasion, because everything changes. Absolutely everything changes, and you're going to need the biblical word to keep you sane, to help you endure to the end, period. Or don't, your call. There's links to RFB3 below, but I'll leave them in the comments anyways. But you need to understand, this is really coming to fruition here. These people are pushing from every single solitary angle, and the fact that Trump is openly using Obama. Obama shouldn't have spilled the beans. He shouldn't have talked about things that were classified. They're doing soft disclosure right now, but they've been doing it for the last few years, because I remember 5 years ago when the government was like, UFOs, that's a conspiracy theory. Everything is a conspiracy theory because everything is a conspiracy. Do you see what I'm saying? And the reason that I'm out in the desert right now is because I need to get actual footage for myself, which I have and will continue. Tomorrow I'm doing a live stream, because I can actually live stream from this B&B. Their Wi-Fi is strong enough where I don't have to worry about dropping my live stream. I've gotten some crazy things on video, but people are getting even crazier things on video. I did get something insane, absolutely insane. It was completely by accident. I'll show you that in a live stream tomorrow. But people are pulling up things like this right here. This video was sent to me by a subscriber, and the reason you can tell that this is legit, there's many factors involved. But this isn't the camera reflecting, because as you can see, the camera is reflecting two orbs right here. But if that's not enough for you right here, here's the sun reflecting on the ocean or the water, and here's the other item reflecting also. Do you see what I'm saying? So these guys are on it. We're getting pictures of 4 moons in the sky. We're getting Cheshire moons 4 months in a row, which we should not be getting whatsoever at all. And suddenly it's like they're listening to our videos because they fixed it. It's not doing that anymore. But I've got a little test to find out what's really going on, and hopefully it works out. We'll see. But let's get to Mexico real quick. This YouTuber has covered it pretty nicely. But before I get to him, let me say this finally, because I'm actually cooking in this stove, this gas-fired stove, which is awesome. I'm not able to do that while I'm rolling. The reason they did this isn't to stop drugs. Look up the price in cocaine has literally dropped since they took out Maduro, since they took out 𝗙𝗲𝗍𝗂. Even if they even did, we don't know any of this, but this is what they're presenting us. The Mexican government knows that the head of the snake, take out the head of Jalisco New Generation, and the rest will follow. That's never worked, because if you take away the most powerful guy in this giant, super violent organization that happens to have all military grade United States Army weapons, I don't know, they must have found him. You take the head out of that, and all that ever happens in history is violence. Violence, violence, violence. Nothing changes, nothing stops, nothing whatsoever. This is just another in a long line of distractions. Have you ever seen so many world events just continue every single day, sometimes 2 in a day, to keep us distracted? Remember the Epstein files? Well, we don't care about that. Alien files. You know, we're Americans. We have been mind-controlled, manipulated, medicated, fluoridated, vaccinated, and sprayed with barium, strontium, aluminum, and whatever else for so long that we have the attention span of a goldfish. And scientists apparently proved this. But here's what it looks like from the ground, and I'll leave links to this YouTube channel below. I'm out. And you can subscribe to him right over here at World Alternative News, World Alternative Media, because he's actually there. And unlike people like Max Egan, this guy isn't a complete sellout. Yeah, ask me how I know. I say these things because I've met a lot of these people face to face in real life. And sadly, when you're in the alternative media or you're a truther, you get approached, you get offers, and lots of people have completely sold out or just don't see the big picture.
Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson of World Alternative Media here in Puerto Vallarta the day after 𝗙𝗲𝗍𝗂 was killed with help by American intelligence agencies. And we see here one of the many OXXOs that was burned out. Molotov cocktails were thrown in it. And I was barricaded in a building yesterday, so I couldn't get out. But we start to see now some people walking in the streets. There are some things happening here now where it's not over. I don't know. I'm suspicious of people that say it's over because it's a pretty big deal what happened. However, I do believe that things have calmed to an extent. They're talking about opening transportation now. You see taxis driving down the street now. And of course, taxi drivers were one of the main groups targeted. So we are seeing some things move. There's lineups, massive lineups at stores because we see things like this. Let me brighten this up here a bit for you guys. We have completely burned out OXXOs here. Shells of what they are. I go to this OXXO all the time, so what I'm seeing here is absolutely insane. I mean, I don't even know about the structural stability. I don't know what kind of chemicals I'm breathing in being in there, but nonetheless, we do see some return here with people walking down the streets and of course a little bit more stability, which is good to see. I'm gonna walk a little bit this way and see how the Kiosco around the corner is doing, because I heard that was hit pretty hard too, but I mean, this is what remains here. Let me brighten that up again. This absolute mess. And that's pretty much everywhere right now. Most of the OXXOs, so there isn't a lot of food to be had right now. There are big lineups and there's rationing happening, and this is something that if you watch my channel a lot, you know I warn about a lot. But let me just walk a little ways over this way. So the guys over there did not want filming being done of the Kiosco. I can kind of understand why they don't want to be on film. But you could see it's burnt out like most of them. And I mean, a lot of the banks were burned too. There's still remnants of a lot of smoke in the air. My lungs are absolutely destroyed after what happened yesterday. I'm just hoping that people are stocked up enough around here as far as food goes. That's the main thing. Water. There was some looting to some degree yesterday of the already burned down places, whatever survived the fires. But generally, the community has been really good here. And there was a feeling of this dire feeling yesterday, whereas today it feels a lot better. So I'm happy to see that. I'm just happy to see some cars driving down the street right now. It gives me hope that maybe we can see some return to normal here. But what I found interesting is, like, attack on transportation, attack on roads, attack on gas stations, attack on food. This is exactly what I've been talking about for so long. So check that link in the description for 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗎𝗡𝗏. Code WHAM, W-A-M, is 25% off. Stock up. You never know when something crazy is going to happen, as I always say. We have one of these. It's a 2-box store below an apartment building. Maybe they were nice enough not to burn this because of all the apartments above. Hopefully that was top of mind for people. So that means there is a store right there, which will be able to provide some people with food. Again, 600,000 people around here and like very few places to go. My wife said we should line up at the Soriana place later that didn't burn. But it's 4 people at a time, a huge long lineup. It'll take forever. There were still fires being burnt in the middle of the night, and it's still happening in other parts of Mexico, and there's still concerns that we will see more of this happening in the next couple days. But for now, of course, Guadalajara is the center of a lot of this. We're in Puerto Vallarta. For now, hopefully, we can relax a little bit regarding all of this, and I'll get back to you with much more as soon as I find out more. I got to get back to posting videos I did at 𝗏𝗏𝗄𝗏 with multiple interviews I did. I had many interviews. So I'm going to get on that soon. You see there's some lineups at the small family stores here as well. I got 10 interviews I got to post, so I do definitely want to get on that as soon as possible rather than dealing with this very negative issue here. But we'll see how things go. Fingers crossed. Hope for the best. Check those links in the description, my friends. Hit the like button, all that. And share around. If you have family members here, they're probably doing fine. Don't get too worried, and don't get too worried about me. I'll be fine. See you later.